Alright, today is a history lesson, but not the textbook, draw in your desk kind. We're gonna be talking about real roots here. Where did collector RPGs actually came from? Because, let's be honest, way before banners, power creep, and second job grind sessions, we're already playing this game. We just didn't know it yet. This genre didn't start on mobile, didn't start on the last decade either. It started in the weird tactical stat crunching chaos of old school RPGs. So today, we're going to go back to where it really began. Alright guys, so let's roll back to the late 80s, early 90s. Wizardry threw you in a dungeon and said, well, figure it out. No pools, you build your crew from scratch. Class, stats, alignments, whole squad was on you. And if someone died, well, I hope you packed a corpse bag. Because permadeath was an actual thing. Now let's fast forward a bit. Shining Force shows up. Now we've got grid-based, turn-based tactics and a full party with real synergy. Every unit had a name, a role, and when they dropped in a swamp halfway through the fight, yeah, it hurt. Had no dupes, no gotcha, just your Centaur Knight, your Fire Mage, and your Goblin Archer, and the mess that followed. Now, nobody called it a hero collector yet, but that's pretty much what it was. You built a squad, you leveled up, you played smart, no credit card needed. Alright guys, so that's when it really started cooking. You had Sudoku throwing 108 recruits at you, not because needed then, but because tracking them down felt like cracking open little secrets. Half the time you didn't even know if they could join you, until they did, and then Fire Emblem rose in, all quiet and deadly, and suddenly you're terrified to lose that archer you actually like. One wrong move and boom, gone. No redo, just that pit in your stomach and a save file you're too stubborn to rewind. Ogre battle, that one didn't even try to explain itself. You're building squads inside squads, juggling class trees and alignment charts like you're running fantasy HR. Half the time you weren't even sure if you were doing that right, and kind of made it better. There are no banners, no pity pools, no second chances. You just train them up, drop them into the fight, and hope you didn't screw it all up. And when it clicked, man, it felt good. And not because you just got lucky, but because you felt like it was yours. And then finally came Pokemon! 1996, and I remember when it dropped. Suddenly, collecting wasn't just a side thing. It was the actual game. You had 150 creatures or so, and yeah, they're all trying to catch them all. Different types, evolutions, stats, movesets. You didn't just level them, you bred them, trade them, organize them, pat them the head like your life depended on it. It was a turn-based RPG wearing a monster collecting suit. And you know what? It exploded. And then, that was a shift. Pokemon didn't just let you collect, it made you want to. Because suddenly, your team felt like yours. Not just optimized, personal. Now, by that point, yeah, collecting wasn't just a feature. It became the game. But we still didn't call it a hero collector back then. I mean, you didn't have to. We're already way too deep on it. Now, eventually, all that stuff that made early collector RPGs exciting, you know, the team building, the progression, the variety, it kind of turned into a formula. And to be fair with you guys, the formula worked. And still does. Some of the biggest games out there run on it, and people love those games. I get it, okay? They're fun, satisfying, engineered to keep you coming back for the grind. The drops, the dopamine, and yes, sometimes even your wallet. But that's where things start to shift, because when a system works too well, it stops being part of the game it starts becoming the game. Recruit, level, fuse, optimize. It went from discovering new characters to managing a spreadsheet. Now, don't take me wrong, some of those games are amazing. I still play them, but somewhere along the way, that little spark, that kind of weirdness, the surprise, start fading out. The genre didn't break, it just got kind of comfortable. Way too safe, way too polished. Everything started feeling like a reskin of the same idea. And that's why, when something breaks that pattern, even if just a little, I actually pay attention. Because this genre, it still has something special in it, if it's willing to take risks again. So, where are we now? Hero Collector RPGs aren't dead, they're just stuck. Running place, waiting for someone to just shake things up again. But you know what? Every now and then, something shows up that doesn't follow the formula. For me recently, it's Godforge. It's not perfect, it's not even finished yet, but it reminds me of something I haven't felt for a while. At least not since early MMOs from small studios revolutionized gaming in the late 90s and early 2000s. That maybe we're hitting another shift, where the next wave of games won't come from studios chasing trends, but small, scrappy teams doing things like their own way. Where the risk's the point, and the fun is on the unknown. Look, I don't know if Godforge will make it, but I know it's trying. And that effort, it feels like start of something. Because this whole genre, it didn't start with banners or loot boxes. It started with hand-built teams. With the rogues who could die forever. Centaur Knights lost in swamp tiles. 108 side quests disguised as people. Fuse demons, box monsters, spreadsheets scrawled in a notebook by flashlight. It started with games that made you care. And if you're lucky, maybe that's where it's headed again. And guys, let me know what games still make you have that feeling. And as always, I'll see you in the game.